This is episode 12.
12. Yeah.
We have fuck bro, there's so many names. I'm gonna start off with the veteran, right? You got a veteran, graphic artist, comic book artist,
Okay.
tattoo artist,
Oof.
uh son of a plumber, one of my favorite.
Okay.
Uh
Father.
father, fuck, there's so many, bro. Photographer, videographer, creator. Let everybody know what your name is and what do you go by on Instagram, bro, on social media.
On social media, I just go by Unlucky Gorilla. There's a story to that, but I don't think it's
We're not there yet.
super relevant. Right. Super relevant to right now, but no, JC is what everybody calls me. Some people say JP or CJ and JJ, and they just J.
Yeah.
No, but I've yeah, man. You mentioned, I think you said artist, or we're about to say artist. I don't go
All around artist, bro. Honestly. Renaissance man.
right. Well, some would say, but no, I don't always say or call myself an artist just because the term sometimes to me, there's too many people that call themselves that
Okay.
that are. I don't want to say that they're not, but they throw that word around very loosely. I just create stuff. I draw stuff, and I do it for fun. Try to do it for fun until it becomes a job, and that's where things start to get complicated. Hence, one of the reasons I wanted to have a conversation with you.
And the many names, bro.
And the many names. I've tried different things. All of us do.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just refer to myself as an artist for the sake of argument, but
Okay.
I've tried to be known as an illustrator. I've tried to be known as a graphic artist, a graphic designer, all around artist.
Yeah.
But all these things have different things tied to them.
Right.
Right. And I've always known that I don't fall into one specific category or one niche. Okay. I've always saw something, I hyperfixate on it, and I want to, like, I'll see somebody on Instagram, for example, create something.
Right.
And now I want to do it just because, like, I don't want to be left out if it becomes a trend, for example.
You don't want to be in a box.
I don't. Yeah. Right. I don't. I say I want to try this, and if I get great, I'm going to keep it going. But the problem is, I do it, and I feel like I succeed.
Okay.
And then I feel like I got to move on to something else.
The spark is gone?
It's gone. It's gone. Why? Because I've accomplished it. Because I did it. It's not a challenge anymore. And that's my biggest, I don't want to call it a downfall.
That's your kryptonite, bro?
It's a kryptonite. Yeah. I didn't think of it that way.
You're driven by goals.
By the challenge.
By the hunt.
The hunt.
By the chase.
The chase.
Typical.
No, I don't want to use that term.
Oh yeah.
It gets us,
Yeah.
So, but the same concept.
Yeah.
I feel like once I'll use an example. I was creating sci-fi style art.
Yeah, bro. You got down.
You know, and don't get me wrong, I still enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was posting it as in a certain Instagram profile that I had,
okay,
it looked great.
Yeah.
But then my profile started looking all the same. That's how
you viewed it. Okay.
And I said, there's no variety here. I'm drawing the same. Every post looked like just another variation of the same drawing.
Okay.
So instead of being a normal human being and drawing something different, I gut the profile, right? Lose the genuine followers that were there, and start over. Right.
Let's put in perspective. How many profiles have you score searched so
in
far?
the last since I've known you. Right?
Yeah.
There was like 3 a year, bro. And
all good names, by the way.
Great names. And by the way, I won't start a new one until I have the name.
Yeah.
I won't just be like user or no. I have to have the name.
Right.
And the name has to mean something.
Just give me like just top three that you made so far, as far as the names goes. Because
the one I have now, Unlucky Gorilla, is so far it's the longest standing one because I was in some circles known as Vanilla Gorilla for reasons that won't be discussed.
No, not on this episode. Yeah.
But Unlucky, I was like, dude, Vanilla Gorilla's taken. oh, what bad luck I have. So I was like, is unlucky available? I was like, oh, it's there. Cool. Let's do it. I don't like names with like if when I say one with an underscore or period,
right.
I'm like, dude, it just I want just this. And
Yeah.
it's like a visual thing. I just want it to look seamless.
Right.
So that's the reason. There was one astrocranium
That
because
was
my
hard.
head was in the sky,
That was a good one, bro.
right?
Astro
And that
Hard.
was the illustrator profile that I was the sci-fi stuff,
Yeah.
right? And again, I hyperfixate on one particular genre of art.
Mhm.
I create it, I work on it,
Yeah.
I buy so many supplies and courses and books and
Yeah.
I get really
All the right things.
I go for broke, dude. And then it's over. I go on to something else. I almost took on sculpting
Damn.
because I got tired of drawing. Nothing wrong with sculpting, but I said,
Yeah.
why can't I just focus on what I'm doing?
You're about to go another dimension, bro?
Dude, astrocranium, dude. But no, the big problem is I do that a lot with not just, for example, artwork,
Mhm.
with food. There was 8 weeks, I'm not lying to you, 8 weeks where I had nothing but pho. Nothing but pho. Why? Because it's healthy, it's great, noodles, and then it's like, okay, now I'm sick of it. But it was every single day. There was
8
no
weeks, bro?
variety because again, I hyperfixate. I'm like, this is it. This is all I want. It's these blinders on. And then come to find out, um, I have ADHD, right?
Oh, okay, there we go. I was just I
So
want to self-diagnose you, bro.
yeah, and I'm like, okay, this makes
Mm.
a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So this last project that I've been working on, which I'm gonna plug it, this comic book that I'm working on.
I've been waiting too.
Yeah, it's so far, just like Unlucky Gorilla's been the longest standing name so far, at least on Instagram. This comic book has been the project that I've actually stuck with and have not veered from. I had surgery in February, so I was
This
out of
year?
work. Yeah,
Okay.
so I was out of work for a whole month, and I said, what am I gonna do with all the time? Watch movies and draw. So this story that I've been thinking about for 10 plus years.
Yeah.
I was like, let me just make the comic book finally. I have the time. So I wrote the script. Comic books have scripts. So I wrote this entire story,
Mhm.
storyboarded it, and I drew the original, because I still use traditional materials, not just digital.
Yeah.
But with comics, it's been I've never done one before like this.
Right.
Comic book usually is a team of people. You have the guy that writes it, storyboards it, sketches. Then you got the guy who inks everything, paints it, right? And then puts it all together, an editor. But like when you're a one-man show, you can see the time, right, that
Invested
all
in it.
this will take. And I'm surprised I'm still, like, I'm halfway done. And in fact, it sucks. So I got here
Uh-huh.
and I forgot to bring it.
Oh, no way.
You the original, the opening page, the hand drawn one that I scanned, and that's the one that, so you hand draw everything, you ink it, you scan it, and then you go in digitally to
Like vectors?
change. Well, you wouldn't it's all JPEG still,
Oh,
but
okay.
or even PDF, but you go in and clean up mistakes.
Okay.
And then you color over it.
Damn.
So I was gonna bring that too. So next time.
Okay.
But
well, is there a name for that
so
project?
right now I just gave you the rundown. It's called Radio. At least that's the initial name.
Okay.
And it's based in the early 80s. It's a guy who I leave a lot of it to a lot of this is still like, you still got to you got to read it, and then it's not clear what's the reason for a lot of this stuff, but there's a guy in a radio tower
Right.
by himself. You don't know why. He hasn't had contact with anybody for 6 months.
Yeah.
Right. And every night he's on the radio asking for somebody, kind of like, in I Am Legend.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
doing that.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But this guy's in a radio tower, so he's getting nothing. He's marking on the calendar every day that there's no response.
Yeah.
And then he goes through his usual routine, and finally he gets a transmission.
Right.
he's getting excited, and turns out the person on the other end says, "I see you," and he's freaking out because he's like, "I'm inside this
Yeah.
building,"
Yeah. No concept.
and then things start happening around. It's a sci-fi horror,
Okay.
you know,
Oh, that's sick.
and I won't give too much of that, but it's gonna end. The first issue is gonna end in a cliffhanger,
Okay.
and
Oh man, maybe you shouldn't say that. We'll cut that part.
well, it's a lot of people, and even me when I read comic books,
Yeah.
I skip to the last page just to see, all right,
Oh,
is it
okay.
gonna be so? It's gonna be a cliffhanger. You just won't know like what's gonna because it so far it could be a standalone thing,
Okay.
but I am gonna make several issues.
All right.
I'm planning on the first one. Just speaking of Instagram and stuff, the first one I'm planning on uploading it digitally, and then just posting a link to it,
Sick.
and then just read it. You know, I'll print some copies if somebody wants any, but if there's a good response,
Right.
then that'll kind of motivate me to do that second one.
Right.
But the point is, this is the first project in a very long time that it's been 2 months now,
Yeah.
and I'm still working on it.
Sticking to it.
I would have been done. Had this been, last year, I would have been done in a week with the idea.
Right. Right.
You know,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
not with the book.
Yeah.
So that's kind of in a nutshell, man, how I
How you operate.
operate, and it's unfortunate, but there's a lot of people like that, man.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, bro. So before you became this, I'm just gonna say artist because you're
Okay.
pretty much an artist, bro. Let's talk about the origin of how we pretty much encountered
Oh, you and I.
me and you in that sense. Because when I first met you, it was back in I think it was like 2018, 2018, right?
Yeah.
Pre-COVID, bro. That was when I just lost my studio across the street. I felt like I lost my identity, and I was just going through like very much a depressing episode, right?
Yeah.
I felt like everything was taken away pretty much because like the building got taken away from us. I didn't have a say in it. So then obviously I needed funds, bro. I was broke. I was going for broke.
Yeah.
I was going for broke, bro, and I didn't know where to go, and I didn't want to get a job because I did the whole freelance thing, and I don't want to like just you know go back with my tail between my legs because I did the whole entrepreneur thing and it didn't work out, you know. And luckily, my friend Fernando, right, always a good friend of ours,
Always.
he was working at T-Mobile at the time, and as much as I didn't want to go there, I was like, you know what, bro, look, like I need a job, like I need funds, and then and that's when he was just like, oh yeah, talk to JC. And bro, no lie, man, when I first met you in that interview, because like I said, bro, I went from having my own business to applying to a job again. At first, I was not looking forward to it, bro. I hated the idea of it. I wasn't looking forward to the interview, man. But just like when we sat and talked, I felt like I met somebody who understood me, like somebody who I felt like you already like somebody I knew. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
it was like, bro, I know this guy.
It
The
was
jokes,
it
the
was
humor.
easy to get along with you, just as a person, right? And then just seeing you 4 or 5 days a week,
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and obviously talk about work,
yeah,
but a lot of other things that we just shared personally,
yeah.
that I, f- I remember when I learned about what happened to you prior to me meeting you.
Right.
I said, "Damn, like it's a cold world, you know."
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
everybody comes back to the 9 to 5,
Mhm.
to the corporate world, and it sucks because the amount of people that have failed
Mhm.
like you did,
Yeah.
like I did, like I do, it's insane,
They
man.
suck, bro.
And
Yeah.
um
You think I want to put a T-Mobile shirt on, bro? You think I want to go in there and
I
start
don't think anybody wants to put on the shirt with a logo that of somebody else, man. It sucks because that's that's where 90%, 95% of all artists are doing. You
yeah,
know, they're doing something they don't want to do. And people like you that failed, and like we're in here today, right? The last time I saw you, like COVID wasn't even invented yet. Like,
mm,
you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
the world was a different
yeah. We were living in a different
place.
time. Yeah,
And when we were still working together,
right.
I remember you and I walked, it was you, me, a few other, I don't know who it was, but you were talking about something,
Yeah,
a team. And I didn't take the leap with you. You know, I said I'm gonna stick with the sure thing, the secure thing, the Monday through Friday,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying my life sucks because it doesn't.
Yeah.
I've you know a family that I just would do anything for, and you know I've been blessed with just so many things
Right.
and
Oh,
opportunities.
God damn. You hear that?
It's Merced, bro. Maybe they should know that an adjustment took place.
Yeah, we had a, yeah, so for the people that are watching on YouTube, we had to fix the lighting a little bit. So
Hopefully things look better.
but so anyway, you were saying that I failed, bro?
When I met you, you were a broken man, like you said, but you didn't stay there. Is the thing, you know what I mean? You didn't accept it. You took the job that you had to at the time, like we all do, and you had you were when we talked, you and Fernando. Shout out to Fernando, dude.
Yeah, shout out to
That's
the
cool,
always
bro. Um,
real homie.
we you I went with you. It was like we on lunch or something, or I forgot what it was.
Mm-hmm.
We took a walk somewhere.
Took a stroll.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there was a gentleman that they introduced me to, and you were talking about a collective, and I said, "This is like something I've always wanted, right?"
Yeah.
But I said, "How is this sustainable?"
How's it
Right?
feasible? Yeah.
I believed in the vision,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't bought into the sustainability.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It involved giving up or partially
Mm-hmm.
giving up the 9 to 5. Well, giving up time,
Right.
which obviously is included, that's included in that, right?
Yeah.
And I most people just can't, like me. I was like, okay, I can't just leave my job to do what I want to do, art,
Right.
you know. So that's what sucked, because now looking back at everything that I've gone through, and things that I've changed about myself and learned about myself, had do if I had the opportunity to go back,
Yeah.
what would I change? I would believe more in myself, and I'd believe more in the vision that you and I had both shared, that we both talked about, because I walked away from that,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm walking into this building, right? That so you when I met you, again, you failed at something,
Right.
and you kind of just took a job, and you just said, all right, I'm just gonna let my dreams die here. You'll do your video on the side, and you're gonna take photos on the side,
Yeah.
and you kept believing yourself somewhere along the way, though, you know.
Yeah.
And I would just watching you, and I will say this, man, since whatever, when COVID happened, because I today's the first day I've, for anybody watching, I haven't seen you since before all that happened. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the Raiders were still in Oakland. What?
Oh,
So,
damn. Damn.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
I hadn't seen you in so long, and even then, we've still connected
Mm-hmm.
through Instagram and
Through every
different
profile you
things.
had, bro.
And yeah, but there's a lot of work, and I want to kind of get into this part now, where we talk about what happened since with me,
Mm-hmm.
since, like with everybody, when COVID
It's a
happened.
departure.
I think a lot of people, man, they took on, um, they started to, the logos.
Which one?
So when I no, like just making logos and
Oh,
stuff.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
That was another thing I got into.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
And I still do it.
Yeah.
Not as
And you're solid, bro. Like the camera's a cocktail one.
yeah, the
The
one I just made
recent one.
for Cameras and Cocktails. Our friend Steph, um, and you guys were connected. Like, it's a small world, dude, and it's
It
crazy.
really
Like,
is.
I've known her, she's met you, and like,
Yeah.
again, I haven't seen you in years, but throughout this entire time that I haven't seen you, a lot of the work that I've gotten, whether it's paid work or
Yeah.
anything like that, or even exposure,
Yeah.
has been directly due to your influence. Okay. You remember Tanner?
Oh yeah.
Remember him?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good, bro. Still a great logo.
You see, and he I wouldn't have connected with him
Yeah.
if it weren't for you. There was another gal. and I don't know how exactly that was. It was literally peak COVID time.
Hmm.
Forgot her name. She does the massages.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing. Because of you, I was able to get that work. And again, you're somebody that I don't want to say I walked out on,
Right.
but I didn't buy into to
Yeah.
what you saw.
Right.
And but I still got a lot of work and a lot of exposure because of you. So I'll always be grateful for that. And now that we're here, like in this place that we were talking about, you're going to be here for a while.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy what, like right now, you were telling me everything you want to do with it. Now it's like, holy shit, he's going to do it. There's no reason to, not that I doubted you.
Right.
It was more the fear of taking that leap that I had.
Yeah.
But now it's like, why am I not going to believe in what this guy's going to do?
Bro.
Right?
Well,
Everything, all the little things you were telling me right now, like
yeah.
they're all going to be done, not right now,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
but
No.
wait it out. It's going to happen. And there's people that are afraid like I was,
Hmm.
and there will always be people like that. I'm still afraid to take certain chances.
Yeah.
So, but you are a prime example of somebody that I'm going to say made it
Okay.
because
Thanks.
you are living what you said you were gonna do, right?
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. Because just that whole thing, like I felt like we had a. I'm glad we met during that time. I'm glad I was able to like tell you all these things, and part of me obviously was like still hesitant about even doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think it's just like it's just a phase, a fucking damn, what is it? Just a hill that we have to just like get through, bro. And it's obviously when it gets hard, man. I mean, the easiest thing to do is just like, oh, let me just walk back.
Mm-hmm.
Let me walk back down,
Yeah.
And even then, bro, I still have those thoughts and everything. I just feel like as an artist, bro, which you completely understand, is that just how you're like very goal driven. I feel like once I had that idea in mind, I was like, I need to make it happen. And at what cost, bro?
At what
Time,
cost? Yeah.
people, right? Some of the same people that we met from that time, I mean, we haven't seen anymore. I'm not gonna, haven't talked to them since, but it's just, some stuff comes at a cost, bro.
Uh, Money, like you said, the relationships that
Mm,
you build. I think the reason that you and I have been able to still have a any type of relationship at all is because I think we just understand that we both are just here to create.
mhm.
You are here not
No
only
matter
to
what.
create, you provide a space for people to do it. Is the thing, man. You didn't have to create this here right now. This, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Nobody asked for this podcast.
nobody asked for it. Nobody,
Nobody asked for this episode, bro.
nobody wants to listen to me. You know, but you've given the opportunity for me to come speak. I said earlier, if 1,000 people watch or don't watch, if you get 100 views or whatever,
Yeah,
if one or two people can resonate with at least my experience and understand that failing is not a bad thing
mhm.
and taking a chance is also not a bad thing, as scary as it may be.
Yeah,
It's like you are the proof, man. And I'll always, just like a lot of people in your circles and people that I've met that have associated with you, you are, and I don't mean to, again, pat you on the back or anything. I'm not
right.
trying to,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
um,
Yeah, enough
you're,
about me, bro.
you're the epitome, man. So, and you serve as an example to people like me.
Wow.
It's just like a reminder, like take a chance,
Yeah, yeah, bro.
at what cost,
Yeah, what?
but take a chance because it
Yeah,
can pay off and it can pay off big.
yeah,
Or stay at your corporate job,
yeah.
stay at your 9 to 5, stay miserable, go
Oh,
home and I like to draw and work on stuff. I can't do it if the sun's out. I just can't.
you're a night
Like,
guy.
yeah, and I'll be falling asleep, dude. But like the iPad's right there.
Yeah,
I put on the drawing glove, and as soon as like I don't know what it is. It's not like I'm incapable of doing anything during the day,
right.
but when the sun goes down,
Mhm.
I just feel like there's less chaos.
Distraction.
Yeah, and that's when I'm able to just sit down and work on something.
Mm-hmm.
What sucks though is because it's just such a short window of time, a couple hours, few hours,
Right.
before you got to go to sleep because you got to wake up in the morning for your job.
Yeah.
Because of that short window of time, almost every day I'm questioning, or every night I'm questioning, like, do I have enough inspiration to work right now? Because if I don't start right now at 9 p.m. or whatever the case,
Yeah.
if I don't start, I'm not working on anything maybe until tomorrow. That's what sucks, man. For me,
Yeah.
you know, some people can only work in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But I just, for me, as somebody who, like we were talking about coffee earlier, right?
Right. Yeah.
For me, and right now, just the adjustments and stuff with the nighttime. I'm gonna get more creative as this conversation goes on. It just
The sun goes down.
when the sun goes, the freaks come out at night, bro.
Damn, bro.
But anyway, where are we going with this?
Well, I guess we can go back to what well, honestly, bro, as we were talking about the origin, what kind of caught you started into creating in that form, bro? Because I mean, you still got a lot of love for photography. I see
Yeah,
the composition in your videos,
yeah.
but like, what made you get back into, I
So
guess, like drawing?
so as you, everybody starts like as a child. Well, with drawing, I see a lot of people start as kids because it's the easiest form of expression. My little girl, I have two, but my youngest, she just, man, I want to say she gets it from me. I honestly don't know where I got it from, but
Right.
she has that natural innocence. Like, I just want to create because I want to.
Yeah.
Right now, finally, I'm at that point in my life where I'm going to create because I want to. For years, it was, I got to create for the internet, right?
Yeah.
As a child, that innocence, like, wow, look what I made, being proud of what you made just because you made it,
Mhm.
just because it's better than the last drawing.
Yeah.
I'm finally, I think I've matured to the point where I'm there again.
Okay.
Obviously, I want feedback and I want people to critique it to
Yeah.
a certain extent, but I'm back to the having fun with it, right? Because that's what my daughter is, and I see her every day, man. She just, Dad, look, and she'll draw things that, because I have a lot of my paintings
Oh,
at
sick.
home
Yeah.
on my wall, right? Drawings and things like, just it just looks like a gallery.
Sick.
And she's drawing, and she sometimes doesn't know what to draw. I just see her look at the wall, and she just starts trying to copy what I did, but
Right.
then she just adds her own flair. Look, Daddy, and it's just, she has so much fun doing it, and that's why I started. But now, because I went a long time, man, without doing anything.
Mhm.
After, I think the one we mentioned, the astrocranium era. After that, I just stopped because I literally said, "What's the point?" I wasn't getting. I kind of, I reached a point where I was just plateauing with
Okay.
followers,
Yeah.
engagement, things
Yeah.
like that. I
Yeah.
said, "What is it? Am I not uh, sharing it enough? Am I not creating enough variety?
Right.
Is it all the same?" Because
You
this
start
is,
questioning yourself, huh?
and it took years after that for me to realize something, and this is very important. If you only get 10 likes or 15 or 20 likes on a photo that you post
Right.
or a drawing that I post, I'm going to consider it uh, a wasted piece of, I don't, not wasted,
Yeah.
but like, damn, like this wasn't good enough.
Right.
But if 10 or 15 or 20 people in person
Mm-hmm.
complimented your work,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That's a lot, bro.
Are you going to still feel like it was a failure? No,
No. No. No.
right?
That's a lot of people.
So, but then on the flip side, with social media and art, or any type of art. When I say art, I mean
All
photography,
forms.
videos, and anything visual,
Right.
anything you created. With Instagram, for example, I fell into the trap of allowing likes and follows
Mm-hmm.
dictate what I did,
Your process.
right? If this type of drawing wasn't getting enough likes, I wouldn't do it again, even if I wanted to do it.
Damn. Oh, you would like shift the direction. You're
I
like,
would shift the direction to what's hot, to what's
mm-hmm.
trending, to what the people that I followed, what are they doing?
Yeah.
So let me copy this guy.
Yeah.
So instead, I was just trying to become a carbon copy of these other artists that I like. I wasn't being myself. Did I get some followers and some likes because I used some hashtags? Yeah,
Right.
but it wasn't me,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And I broke out of that finally like a year ago,
How'd you get through that? How were you able to like finally realize that?
that wasn't the way.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a video on YouTube and I forgot what the exact title was, but it ended with "Nobody cares."
Yeah.
And if I don't post anything,
Hmm.
I got to thinking, if I don't post anything in a while, people aren't gonna care.
Yeah.
They're not gonna see anything. And then when I do post something I love, right? I'm really proud of this drawing, and I post it. Somebody is sitting on the toilet scrolling. They're gonna look at my drawing for 2 seconds,
Yeah.
double tap it, and keep going. Right?
Right.
So why do I care? Right? That person scrolling,
Yeah.
they didn't look at everything that I
Put
drew.
into it. Yeah.
Right? Oh, that looks cool. Boom, keep going.
Yeah. The hours.
So why am I dictating what I'm doing for that?
Yeah.
Right? And once I kind of realized that, I said I might as well just create what I want. If somebody's gonna double tap it anyway,
Yeah.
just do it. And I also fell into a really bad habit where when you draw things, an illustrator,
Hmm.
sketching is part of the process. I stopped sketching, and every time I picked up a pencil or a pen or a brush or anything, it had to be my magnum opus. It had to be my masterpiece.
Oh, okay. Right. Right.
If
Yeah.
I started drawing something and it wasn't perfect, you get a piece of paper, you maybe shelve it for a while. I was working digitally.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even just like exit no, I would just delete the file
Damn.
because I said
Savage.
this isn't going to be.
You don't even save the project?
I didn't even. That's it. You know how many times I wish I could just go back and not do that, man, because that was another thing I got into, and it was all because of likes and follows.
Mm.
That was it.
Yeah.
And it sucks, man, because you know how many people are relying on that.
Yeah.
How many? I don't even want to name artists, but I'm just gonna say Picasso for the sake of familiarity.
Right.
How many Picassos there are
Yeah.
that will never see their work? We're never gonna see other people's visions
Yeah.
because they're worried about the same stuff. I'll also see some certain work on Instagram that I don't think, and this is just an opinion,
Okay.
I don't think took a lot to create.
Right.
I don't think took the time and the creativity
Hmm.
to create. Um, or like everything that I would do,
Yeah.
it didn't take all that. It's very simple, but gets thousands of likes and shares
Yeah. It got to you, huh?
and I started thinking like, why is this person getting all this recognition for that kind of work?
Mm.
Right. So I started, I don't want to say hating on that type of artwork, but
Right.
yeah, I guess I was hating. So I wouldn't follow, but I would keep looking.
Right.
So I said, should I do this? But then I would think
The same me.
this is, and not just this ain't me. I would think this is beneath me. So I was. It took me a while to realize I was so wrong for that
Right.
kind of thinking. I was pointing my pistol in the wrong direction, man. I was not. These people aren't these artists. I shouldn't be mad at them,
Yeah.
right? Because if I was just starting out, I look at my daughter. She's not drawing like I draw,
Right.
but if she shared her work
Mm.
and she got all those follows and all those likes,
Yeah.
she'd be so motivated.
Yeah.
She'd want to keep improving.
Yeah.
And instead, I'm throwing hate on potentially
Damn.
someone else's kid, right? That's how I was like, whoa, what am I doing?
Yeah.
So now I just look at art like, cool, if this guy's getting a lot of likes,
Right.
that's not the kind of work that I would hang on my wall.
Mm.
But congrats to them. They're
Yeah.
going to keep getting better, right?
Yeah.
So that was the trap that I fell into. A lot of guys are creating stuff that they'll never share because they're scared of that or the lack of engagement, right?
So damn, bro, that's actually really, it's funny because I feel like I went through that too at a certain point where I felt like I was really into like landscapes and
Yeah.
like street photography, but then like you start being
Yeah.
like, is this me though? Like, and then you see somebody else who obviously is more established, and then you're like, how come my stuff isn't being as shared or reacted or,
Mhm.
and you get in that little rabbit hole where you start questioning everything. Um, I feel like, bro, for the longest time, man, I've seen from your many profiles, dude.
For my yeah.
For your many profiles, I've seen like the work that you would put out and I guess like the passion behind it.
Mm.
And it didn't matter if you were creating sci-fi stuff or you're creating logos or you were drawing Michael Jackson or Prince, bro.
Prince.
You know what I mean? Like
Prince.
you were coming up with some bangers, bro. And like, cause you would add your spin to it, the detail. You have a very, very fine eye for like detail. Like if I were to zoom in on it, you know what I mean? Which I'm
Let's
not.
see the yeah.
But if I were to zoom in on it, I would know that you like covered that.
Yeah.
You know, like every movement was not wasted.
Yeah.
Right. So like for me to see like the different profiles just like burn, I was like, damn, bro, like I just want to see you. I just want to see you like out there more. I want to see more of your work, you know?
Yeah.
And it was different. It was, I feel like artists go through that where you start like questioning whether or not you should like keep going. But it's like, it's just a matter of, I don't know, man. It's like, I've met many talented people who kind of just don't come back from it. So it's good to know that you're like, you figured.
Yeah, and we talk about coming back from it. The reality is, all I did was come back to Instagram under another name, right? But it what what people don't understand is when you are, I hate the term, but when you're an artist, right? It takes balls, man, to share your work. It's the ultimate vulnerability
Hmm.
because it's stuff that you made, right?
Mm.
So there's nothing, a blank canvas, a white piece of paper. They come in black now. But there's nothing. Then there's an artist, and now there's something,
Hmm.
right? Artists create stuff. I'm not going to create the same thing that you are,
Yeah.
okay? But once we have it, right? We look at it, we find it, we either like it, we don't like it. But when you share something,
Yeah.
right now, the most common way to share is social media.
Right.
But when you share something in any form or fashion, you're literally opening up, man,
Hmm.
to criticism,
Yeah.
to praise. You don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So it takes a level of strength to be able to do that. Because, dude, some of the first types of work or logos, I'll go with logos that I try to pump out.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was rough, bro. It was so rough. One dude literally messaged me.
Oh, what
It
is
was for this taco shop,
uh
and he said, "Hey, that looks familiar."
oh,
And I said, "No, well, it might look familiar, but I live because it was something I came up with.
okay.
Sure, you take inspiration from different things,
Yeah, yeah, as an artist, you
but
yeah.
this dude sent me a
The
logo that
reference? Oh.
no, no, no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
He sent me like a logo that he created.
Yeah.
He wasn't saying that I copied him. He was just saying, "Hey, this is too close to what I make."
Uh-huh.
And I looked at it, and it wasn't that like there's tacos everywhere,
Right.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
There's people put a taco on several logo Taco Bell, bro. Like it's a bell, but years ago there was like
There's a taco
a,
there.
a angled shot of a taco,
Uh,
and that uh, it was a gut punch, dude. I said, dude, this was the first one I shared.
damn. Oh,
What's gonna
that was your introduction
It
to
was
like
my here
you're
we
the
go.
you
It was a Tuesday. It was every bro like
oh, you typed it for Tuesday too?
yeah,
Taco Tuesday?
hashtag talk like I was like, cool, it's gonna drive it. It was perfect.
Oh shit.
And it was a slap in the face, dude. It was a broken taco, if you will, man. And now I share something and I'm like, cool, like I'm doing it because I don't want to be the only person to see my work.
Yeah.
I don't want my daughters to be the only ones to see like here, look at this horror comic.
Mm.
They don't
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want my inner circle to be the only people to
Oh, right.
see.
Yeah. Yeah, the
And
audience.
some people will react to it, some people won't. But
Yeah.
it once you're over that, like you and I have been posting stuff for years,
Yeah.
but there's still people that don't want to share what they have.
And even then, bro, even then it's so tough because I mean, I think about it, right? Like I feel like the hard part of like pursuing this is just being alone for so long, right? You create by yourself, right? You're having all these thoughts by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to find like your community, trying to find your tribe. And then some people get lucky and find those people
Yeah.
while others are still looking for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
You are tribal chief, as they say.
shut the
No, you have
Uh,
been able to create this collective of people, like I mentioned. I I've always been an isolationist. I talk about, man, I want to be part of a team,
yeah,
but then I really think about it.
you can't let go of that.
I can't like I feel like I need full control over a
Mhm.
project
Yeah.
because again, like we mentioned earlier, somebody's vision may not be
Mhm.
exact, and I can direct it and I can, delegate as many things as I want, but if I didn't put my hands on it,
Yeah.
like right now, dude, right now, the fact that I'm not holding that camera,
Yeah.
that I
Like, isn't it?
it's like, okay, and I don't care how I look, it's
Right.
just I don't have the control.
You're in the passenger seat right now, bro.
I'm in the passenger seat and
I'm
you drank
driving.
too much, man.
I'm driving.
You know?
I did. I've been drinking and
So
driving.
it
Pause. Actually, no, I haven't. All right. Speaking about control, bro.
yeah.
So I met this fellow videographer, cinematographer, a YouTube star.
Ooh,
Yeah, her name is Angela. I think she's hit like 7K on YouTube, and
7K more than I have.
and she happened to stumble upon us. Like
Okay.
she ended up working with me, Astolfo and Pete, and our friend Crystal, and we came up with like the idea of like it was for Horror Fest. We did a little Horror Fest thing here at the studio, and she directed it. She pretty much wrote the whole story for pretty much the most part. It was all her. And then I was like, so who should edit it? She's like, oh, I'll edit it. So I was like, so you're gonna shoot, write, and edit the whole thing and act, bro? She did all four, and then, and it came down to like, and then when we were like working together, it's like I could see some of that control come out where it's just like I don't know if I can trust these guys.
Once you have a vision, like, and I get where she's coming from. If you
And she was right. She was right.
okay, because you want it to be a certain way,
Uh,
right?
yeah,
Do I trust you with a camera? Absolutely, right? But if
yeah,
if I see a certain shot,
yeah.
I'm gonna be like, okay, Irvin, can you do this? Can you do that? In fact, no, let me see if I can hold it. I can't hold it because I'm in the thing.
Mhm.
So it just takes so much. So where she's coming from, I totally understand it, dude. That's why I have Prince tattooed, right? By the way, I did this myself.
You're like tattoos by me.
Yeah, by me, by
You're like I
even
had to
I have
learn.
to control
Like
that.
bro, I didn't have a tattoo, but I had to like if I wanted a tattoo.
I needed to do it myself, and so the reason I have that is because him too. He did everything right, and to me, it's just that reminder. Like, dude, I can't. It's hard for me to let go of some of that. Like with this comic book project,
Yeah,
it's hard for me to try to ask for help
yeah.
because even if somebody does say, "Hey, yeah, I'll help you out," it I just know it's not gonna come out how I see
Nah,
it.
bro, you can't go in. You can't go in that way, man.
And I know, and
You can't go in that way,
that's a
bro.
big flaw that I have, man.
You go far by yourself, but you go further with the team.
Oh,
Trust me, bro. Because I mean, you can do it all. I have no like I know you can do it all, but it's like again,
with a
bro.
team, man.
At what cost, bro? The time,
Yeah,
the time.
time, the sleepless nights,
So, yeah,
the
because you got
tired
to
morning.
start sacrificing
Mhm.
your morning, your
Yeah,
sleep, right? And then you got to start sacrificing, I mean, family time, bro. So it's like when you start finding the people that you eventually give them, a shot because not everyone's gonna be good.
yeah, yeah,
But it's like it's just a matter of like giving them a shot to be like, okay, this person has that potential to be that, you know. And then I don't know, bro. It could like resonate into something where it's like, okay, you found your community, you found your collective, you found your crew.
yeah. I I guess I don't want to say it's the entire problem because it's not, but part of the I'll just call it issue
Mhm.
is I don't outside of you and maybe a handful of other people that are creative,
Right.
I don't know a lot of people. Since I moved out here, I just don't. Most of the artists that I've met, I'll never meet them in person because it's been online,
Yeah.
right? Instagram and stuff. And they'll share your work in there and because they like it. There's a dude that, his name's Sam. He's a photographer that I met, back, before I moved out here.
Okay.
So when I started getting serious about shooting, he'd already been shooting for a while. And, I'd been shooting, but I got real serious into it. Like I wanted to see if I can make something out of it
Yeah.
more than just a hobby.
Yeah.
And I hung around with him for a little while. We did several photo shoots with different people. We started doing, was it photo, I don't know what you would call it now because I've been out of
Like
that, like
the
photo
like the
called
meetups. Okay.
Yes, but not with other. It was like him and I,
And like
but
models?
we call like model call or something. I forgot
Okay.
what but we just say, hey, we're gonna be here. Do you want to show up? Show up, and people would show up,
Yeah.
and we start shooting. I might go to Fresno, and but he was one of the guys that I was like, okay, I can hang around him
Mhm.
as a creative, but I would never let him take my headshot, for
Oh.
example. Not because I trust him.
Oh, okay. Right.
It
Right.
was because I didn't have control over it.
Oh,
Right.
right. Right.
There's just recently I was talking to our friend Stephanie.
Yeah.
Same thing. I have an idea of this shoot that I'd be like, okay, because I've seen her work too,
Yeah.
and
Great
it's
photography.
great. And
Yeah.
and I had this idea, and the more I think about it, it's like I'm not gonna be the one holding the camera.
Damn.
So is it likely gonna happen? Probably not. And I know that that's a flaw that I have.
Mm. Yeah.
It's a big problem because it shouldn't be that way, man. I'm vulnerable to share my work, but I'm not allowing that same vulnerability to give up the control a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's something that and I'm not going to pretend to have all the answers because I don't.
Yeah.
But that is a major problem I have as an artist
Mhm.
is asking for help.
All right. Well, let's make the call right now, bro.
Put on speaker or what?
You know what I'm saying? Just
Oh,
like just start. No, but no.
uh,
I'm saying like make the call right now, bro. For like I don't know, fellow artists to
let's see. I don't know what I need help with yet. Yeah.
Okay. All right. When the time
When the time comes,
when the time
I'll try
comes.
and
Yeah.
reach out.
Yeah.
But I'm
Just
going to commit to you that I'm going to do that.
okay.
Okay.
All right.
Because do I need help? Yes. With the comic book, I just don't know how yet.
Yeah.
So
Okay. That's fair.
when I figure it out, I'll make the call.
That's fair, bro.
Make the call.
All right.
Yep.
I'm gonna look at the draw points because you brought some good stuff right here.
Okay.
So, oh, here we go. Let me see. Okay, that's a good one. All right, bro.
Oh, hit me with it, bro.
So we talked about why do you create now, bro, and you talked about going for broke. All right, let's talk about the expensive hobby that it is with the tools that it is will be an artist, bro. Do you feel the gear makes the artist, or you think the artist makes the gear?
Dude, who told me? One of you
Astolfo Pete?
told me.
Which?
No. What's the name? The first one that came in with the. He's got the gray
Astolfo.
sweater.
Astolfo.
Okay.
Yeah. 8. Mr.
Maybe it wasn't him.
Oh,
Somebody else earlier
oh,
told me.
how many people were here? Oh, Chris.
Okay.
Yeah.
Said it doesn't matter what camera because he looked at the Fuji.
Yeah.
He saw when I walked in. He goes, "Is that a Leica?" I said, "No, it's Fuji."
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, it doesn't matter what camera you have; it's how you use it."
Yeah.
I said, "Fuck, it's true.
Yeah.
I could have a Leica, and I'm still going to shoot the same type of photo. It's not the gear, right?
Yeah.
Does gear make things easier? Yeah.
Yo, hell yeah.
So
Yeah.
I work mostly digitally now. Okay, and this is one topic actually that I find very interesting amongst illustrators. It's believed that if you work strictly digital as an illustrator,
Uh-huh.
that it's easier, that it's not real,
Mm.
that it's not real art, right? They they don't mean it literally, but they essentially talk as if I just turn on the iPad or
Oh,
whatever,
right. Yeah.
and I just take the Apple Pencil,
Just drag and drop.
and it's like you're still drawing,
Yeah.
right? Is it easier to erase? I just double tap to undo,
Finish.
right?
Right. Yeah.
If I want to see something closer, I just
Yeah.
so does it make things easier? Of course, but it's not something that again, I'll go digital, I'll go traditional.
Mm.
I just prefer digital because of the convenience.
Yeah.
I could sit down at a coffee shop. I can
Yeah.
be
Bring
anywhere.
a whole desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so just to kind of talk about the types of supplies, the stuff I'm using now, after I've already tried and given up on all these other,
Right. After you went for broke.
after I went broke, um, now I don't use just printer paper to sketch. Like there's specific paper that I use because I want it to last. I don't stuff wears out over time, right?
Right.
Even when you store it. So there's paper that I use that when you can buy a pack of 500 pieces of printer paper, right, for what, $10 probably, something like that. A 20 pack of the stuff that I sketch on is $10, like
Right.
for 20 sheets. That is sketch. It's not even stuff it's not the final,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
watercolor paper. Um, I don't, there's something called cold press and hot press. Cold press has a lot of bite to it and
Mhm.
you need a lot of water to really, I made one of the YouTube videos that I made. I was just kind of talking down on that type of paper.
Oh, was it the
There was the one that was real cinematic.
okay.
It's not available anymore, but
Oh, damn, bro.
I mean, it's in the archive, but
Okay, okay.
the hot press
Yeah.
is expensive. Same thing, 20 sheets. That one, 20 sheets is about $30. And that's the stuff you don't want to waste,
Right.
right? So there's that. There's the pencils. It's not just a mechanical pencil,
God damn, bro. It's like we're having a car meet right now, bro.
the acoustics. Um, the pencils, the pens, the type of the inks, right? The paints. I'm not using Crayola branded stuff. I'm doing stuff that's gonna it's gonna last a long time because watercolor over time, depending how much light hits it, it's gonna fade, right?
Yeah.
The acidity in the papers or in that stuff is gonna wear down the paper. So
Right.
I got to think about that. I have to think about how I'm gonna store
Mhm.
all the work. Am I gonna frame it? Am I gonna put it away? That's just the traditional stuff.
Right.
With digital, I work mostly on an iPad Pro,
Mm-hmm.
and you want something with a lot of storage. So just the device, I mean, 1,400 $1,400, the Apple Pencil, and then you're gonna go through
God damn, bro.
different types of screen protectors because you still got to try it all out. Do I want to draw on a piece of glass and have my hand slide really fast, or do I want to experiment with different types of protectors to give me a little bit of
Damn, bro, you're really going,
resistance?
huh?
Yeah. So it's a lot that gets spent initially,
Mm-hmm.
but if it's worth it to you,
Yeah.
you're gonna do it. Me, because I value the convenience of it, I do it. You know, the pencil itself, um, I'm not advertising for it or anything, but it's the best thing that I have ever used, right?
Right. The closest thing.
But I have this tendency where I do this trick where I spin the pencil
Oh, you're like a drummer.
and I've dropped it
Uh,
and the sensor stops working,
oh,
right? So you got to buy another one.
fuck.
But that's my issue because
Yeah.
I'm doing this stupid
Right.
thing. So all that stuff just costs money. Then the tips on the pencil because that starts to wear out.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at is it's just hobbies like this will start to cost you money. But then if you start making money off of it,
Yeah.
obviously it's worth it. I don't make money off of artwork as much as I used to because it turned into a job and I didn't like that.
Yeah. There
Right.
you go. How do you, okay, so you mentioned the convenience, bro. How do you feel about AI right now when it comes to that?
It's cool.
Uh,
And I've 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 used Chat GPT just to try it out,
uh-huh.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it wasn't to like share anything or
Right.
to sell anything or
Yeah.
anything like that.
You want to see how far it's,
I just want to see how it worked,
right.
right? I gave it some prompts and I was like, whoa, right?
Mhm.
This is like similar to what I would have,
Scary.
yeah. But I do see why we wouldn't want to do it in our world.
Right.
I've even tried like generate a photo like if it was going to be something that a photographer would shoot,
Yeah.
and I'm just like I'm so against this stuff
Oh, same, bro. Yeah.
because it already has taken jobs from people. It's taking
Mhm.
gigs
Yeah.
because now you say you start a coffee shop,
Right.
you don't want to pay me for the logo. You're going to ask
AI,
ChatGPT
bro, I see it all the
to do
time.
it,
I see it all the time. Yeah.
and some things will be off,
Yeah.
but you can go in and fix it.
Yeah. They can't
And
hands.
yeah, and I
Can't be fingers.
it can't. You're gonna be, hey, what's up? Or an extra finger. But that's I'm against it. I don't like it. Do I think it's cool for like a meme or make a
Right.
funny?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and draw something just to like make you laugh
Yeah.
as a meme. But I do think if it went away completely, it'd be awesome. But it won't.
No,
I don't
yeah,
think it's gonna go away.
yeah.
And it's gonna keep learning from
All the artists out there. Right?
yeah. And that's the bad part.
Yeah.
And you have no say in it. I see a lot of people are in their bios or whatever.
Mhm.
I do not give permission to,
Yeah.
for it,
Hey,
but it's gonna take it.
yeah, it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter,
It
bro. It's
doesn't
already, it's been
even
done.
care.
It's been,
I've
yeah,
seen Terminator way too many times to know where this is going. Like it's
yeah,
not. It's just not it. And but there's no stopping it. I think.
yeah.
So what we have to do is, if you value art and artists and true personalization, you're gonna go to an artist,
Mm.
right? Are you still gonna go to Chat GPT as a
Yeah, to diagnose your,
consumer of well, for me, as a if I was a consumer of art, like if I didn't create stuff myself and I needed something done, a commission done or whatever, turn me into a comic book character. I'm gonna go there,
right.
right?
Yeah,
If I wasn't
right.
an artist. But because I do create stuff, I'd rather take a picture of myself and then draw
Yeah.
myself. But too many people are using it because it's fun, it's easy, it's just so quick to get
Yeah,
the
there's
stuff
like
in.
a, I don't want to say magical thing, but it's just like to the people that haven't had that sort of control where they can create something. It's just, it is fun. You know what I mean? It's fun in that aspect. But I have seen where people, I thought it was crazy, bro, because I remember seeing somebody on my friends that posted up like a headshot, and right away, bro, I was like, damn, this is AI. This is AI, bro. And it's like I remember like them asking for somebody to do a headshot. So I'm like, you know what, bro? If you want to save money, I get it. You know what I mean? I understand that portion, but as far as like an art, I mean, seeing like the Studio Ghibli like art style being
I
used
saw it, yeah.
on that, I'm like, damn, bro, they're just taking it. Now it's in the hands of everybody.
But it comes in waves, like the Ghibli thing, right? I, when was it? Last week?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not saying people still don't do it, but it's not gonna. You don't see that anymore today.
Yeah,
You see here and there, but next week it's gonna be a different thing.
yeah,
But nonetheless, it's still AI creating stuff that a person could make.
right.
It's taking a potential gig from somebody. So, yeah, the fact that you asked, it's obviously
Yeah, it'd be
a
so,
big
bro.
thing that we. So I tend to just stay away. I'll use ChatGPT for like questions
Mm.
about stuff and see how far you can push it with opinions and things
Yeah,
like that. But for art, I just because I'm gonna be taking art from somebody is
yeah,
how I look
yeah.
at
And
it.
as an artist, you
You know,
can't do that even
is but
unknowingly.
is it any different now? Here's a conversation. Is it any different than me using another artist as reference and then me creating something on my own?
Yeah,
You know, I think that like as somebody that creates stuff, like your friend Joel, right?
yeah.
He creates these. I don't even know how to describe him, man. It's just so
Work of art, bro.
it's but he has to think of a reference, right? But humans think of references and then we put our own twist on it, whereas
Yeah,
AI doesn't. It literally gives you exactly what you asked for,
yeah.
with one or two fingers missing or whatever, but it's gonna be there.
Damn, bro.
Mm.
You know, AI, we're done. Actually, we're not done. That's only the beginning, bro. It's gonna get scary,
It's gonna
especially
get
next
scary,
year.
bro.
I don't know how bad it's gonna get. When I saw the headshots, bro, I was like, damn, bro, you really went on fucking.
Yeah, they're not perfect now, but they're good enough. So
Yeah, yeah, no, no. When there's no hands involved, bro,
yeah,
it looks pretty good.
yeah, the in the pocket or whatever behind, or
Yeah.
even the
Oh,
it's like
bro, yeah, the real estate shots, bro. Forget about it. I've seen it.
yeah.
All right, all right, bro. As an artist with the family and
Mhm.
currently working, how is your time management? And is there any advice that you would give like artists from everything that you were like
Yeah.
experiencing?
When it comes to time management as an artist, you have to. It's a priority thing, right? My family is number one. It always will be. It'll come before everything.
Yeah,
But when my family is asleep, right? That is where my day begins, so to speak.
yeah,
My that's when my brain wakes up because when you do your 9 to 5, there's not much you can do there, right?
right.
So that's that block of time that you're creatively all you can do is think
Yeah,
about what
just
you're
wait.
gonna do.
Just wait till you get home.
The actual creating portion of it, the crafting, right? That's where when I get home, I want to spend time with my kids,
Yeah,
right? You have your lady at home, right? So you don't want to neglect any of that.
right.
Okay.
And it's hard.
So you're gonna spend time there. And with me, what sucks is get home, hugs and hey, love everybody, missed you. But I'm thinking like, damn, like
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know,
You're like,
and but here's the thing: there's times where okay, they're in bed, everybody's asleep, everybody's doing their own thing, and okay, here we go, and nothing happens,
yeah,
right? And that is because I still haven't shut everything else off, right? Now with other people that also draw or paint or whatever as a hobby, it stays a hobby. It's let me back up a little bit.
Jump.
Everybody does these things for their own reasons. I found my reason. My reason is I want to create something that I can look at and I can enjoy.
Yeah,
I can look and think, damn, that's badass. Or this tells a story.
yeah,
I want to tell us certain drawings that I make are chaotic, like a lot of these sci-fi ones that we talked about earlier. There's no words, but oh, there's clearly an alien invasion happening, and this farm is burning down, and so like, there's a story in that. So
right,
that's what I want to do.
right.
The secondary reason is I want to leave something behind for my children just to look at. The
Yeah,
damn, he made that when he was before he had Alzheimer's or whatever, you know. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
damn, before my dad died at 40, like
It's
this is all the
before he
stuff
cut his ear.
you know. So that's my reason. Also, I just have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah,
When it turns into a paid gig,
hmm
I'm honored, no pun intended, to
in the
get the
grave.
work and to engrave my um it's nice to know that somebody is willing to pay you for your work that
Yeah,
you do for because you enjoy it.
right.
But now I'm creating something that somebody else wants.
Yeah,
And that's what's hard for me, man.
yeah,
It's really hard. I have to want to create that.
yeah,
Cameras and cocktails.
yeah.
When the idea was brought up,
Right,
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was like, this is, I mean, I
right.
looked at what they had,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, I need a direction,
hmm
and there wasn't like anything like clear, like we want this. I was like, let me just see what I can come up with,
Right.
and it wasn't them that I didn't believe in. It was the logo. I said, there's nothing I can offer you that
Oh,
would
right.
elevate your brand.
Mhm.
So then I said, give me a couple days. I came up with nothing, and then dude, I
That
listened
freaked
to.
out Star Sitting or what?
I said I was gonna just say, hey, find somebody else. I was about to do that, and then I was off one day, and I think the girls went to sleep. Priscilla was in. She went to sleep. I don't know what happened, but I
Yeah.
was alone in my living room, and I put on Jimi Hendrix, and I was like, damn, this sounds. And then the '60s came to
Mhm.
mind,
Yeah.
and I said, oh, that's interesting. Let me go into this. Let me explore this. I looked into some '60s typography,
Yeah.
some the old early '60s Disneyland kind of signs that they had. So I
Yeah.
said, let me see if this works.
Right.
And it's cámaras y cóctel in Spanish,
Yeah.
right? So cámaras was I wrote it in a font that I watched. I also saw this old Elvis poster. It was in that
Oh,
similar
sick.
font.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like cámaras, and then the cocteles, it's a glass, a martini
hmm
glass. So
Yeah.
that's the Y
Yeah.
E
Oh,
in
yeah.
cocteles. So I was like, this is it. I added
Yeah.
the little 60 star thing to it
Right.
to resemble or represent the flash of the
Yeah.
camera,
Damn.
and a star was born. And I so um
It's a good logo, bro. When I saw that, I was like, damn, bro.
I made a secondary one
Yeah.
that I said, hey, because you look at Nike, they have it's the
It was
word
swoosh.
Nike, they have the swoosh, they have just the N, they have a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, this is the main one, but I don't know if this is gonna look good in the circle in the profile pic
Right.
that you want it for.
Yeah.
So I created a secondary one, which was just the martini glass
Right.
with the star.
That's
Just
sick.
it's just that.
Yeah.
And I had assumed that that's what would be used, but once they put it as the main
Right.
profile pic, the initial logo that I created,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's legible, you can read it, it's clear,
That was a great one,
and
bro.
it was one of the first ones I've done in a long time that
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool, and nobody messaged me telling me they hated it or that
Yeah.
it looked like theirs or anything, so it was nice.
Yeah.
So that what I'm trying to get at is finding the time to do these things
Mhm.
when life is crazy, man. Time is literally our most precious commodity.
Yeah.
You're not getting literally anything on earth
Yeah.
you'll get back. Well, except
Guess.
family who passes away
Oh, right.
and time.
Right. Yeah.
But you have to, if you value time, right, you're going to have to try to figure out a way to make it work for you because, how, I don't know how you are with this, but I'm guilty of it just as probably everybody watching this.
Yeah.
You just sit down, you want to do something or you have a plan, but you get caught up doing this, man.
Yeah.
And then
Anytime,
before you
right.
know it, how much time has passed?
Yeah, it's already midnight.
So, if you're able to truly commit to prioritizing what matters to you, your family, if this is the case, for me, it's my family, my own kind of well-being, and then my art.
Yep.
Right? By well-being, I mean once everybody's asleep, do I feel good? Do I need to stretch? Do I need to rest? Is another one. If those things are great and my headspace is good enough to start working on this, I'm gonna do it. That's how I manage my time. It's what's more important to me.
Priorities.
And do I have the strength? Because I'll tell you, when I had the surgery, man, I was down and out, bro. Like for like 3 days, I was like a plank, bro. Like because I couldn't bend so I had the gallbladder and so they poked all these holes and I just couldn't. Anytime you engage, you're healing. So I also said, how am I going to draw? Because you draw sitting down. I can't draw laying down. The iPad weighs a pound.
Yeah.
And it's 13 inch. Like you can't. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I can't do anything. But finally I was like, all right, I can at least sit up.
Yeah.
But then I had neck problems because I'm drawing like this. So, but when you draw, you're going to have things like that. So if you can manage, you can't do anything about work unless you take a leap of faith, right? But if you have a job, get home, do what you need to do with your family. That comes first because you're always going to be able to draw unless you break your hand or something, but you're always going to be able to create. Your family comes first, man, because they won't always be around. Yeah. You know? But if your family understands what you're doing, I had to have that conversation. Yeah. Because you spend all your time doing this, or my daughters are just watching me draw. Like, Daddy, can you, I don't know, play Uno with me? Yeah. And, oh, babe, right now. And just saying that, like, hurts. It sounds, because I prioritized something that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things over my kids. Yeah. So if I do that and play Uno with my kids until they go to sleep, I'll feel a lot better. Yeah. There you back to drawing. Yeah. Right. And the next day, hey, look what I made. Whoa, that's, and at some point in the long run, again, assuming I make it past 40 or whatever, they'll remember that, bro. They'll look, bro. They're going to know that at least I was there. And during the weekdays, it's hard. I mean, life happens. Yeah. They have school and stuff like that, but you just got to be there. And if I can leave behind some stuff for them to look at, like, oh, I remember when he did that. And, where we were in life when he made that stuff. And I remember he talked, because the earliest memories I have of because my parents weren't artists, but my grandpa on my mom's side, he had Alzheimer's, and he would draw as early as I can remember, dude. He would draw horses. He already had Alzheimer's, but he would draw horses. Damn. And I'm like, dude, like, this is great. So, like, I remember that. I was 4 or 5. And, he died when I was 13, but he'd stopped drawing by then. But, my daughters, my whole thing is, like, let them remember this stuff, right? If something happens to me, there's literally a collection on my walls for them to choose from. And and each one is like a different phase in my artistic journey. You've seen it, bro. And they can watch if the Instagram is still around by then. They're like, oh wow, he did it on this day. Yeah. Damn, bro. But, well, yeah, man. I think that's beautiful, bro. Especially when you leave a legacy behind that shows and showcases the state of mind that you were in, and also like the passion, the different lifestyle that you were probably into. But with all that being said, bro, from the trials and tribulations that you face, from the downs and outs, right? From the comeback to the setback, what is some advice that you would give somebody who's trying to pursue
this journey that you're in, as far as an artist goes, or at least like if you could talk to JC 5 years ago, bro, what would you tell
If
them?
I could talk JC from 5 years ago, I know that 5 years ago JC wouldn't listen. He'd tell me to fuck up. I don't know if I can.
Oh, good.
He would tell me to,
Yeah,
you know, because he was just stubborn and like, I'm gonna do this. I don't care because I want to do that, and I'm
yeah,
gonna buy everything that I need to create it. YouTube, I took a stab at it
yeah,
twice,
yeah,
um, and I think because I didn't get that instant gratification of followers and likes,
right.
I had one artist that he's one of my favorite artists on Instagram.
Yeah,
He happened to see the video, dude,
damn,
and he was one of my 11 followers,
damn, bro,
and he has like 300,000. He was like, wow, he commented on one of them, and
damn,
I was just like, dude, this is like, that's my holy grail when it
yeah,
comes to artists. So I felt accomplished,
yeah,
but then I thought about it. I said, do I want to pursue more artwork or videos?
yeah,
So what
well,
I would tell myself 5 years ago is pick something and please just do something that you truly believe in.
mm-hmm,
Not because right now it's cool, not because Irvin's making videos and it's getting, you want to try it.
right,
Do it because it's something you truly want to do.
yeah,
And if it's hard, if you're gonna commit to something,
yeah,
just because it's hard, like don't give up. Because it's supposed to be hard, dude.
exactly,
It's not supposed to be easy. So I finally have what I can tell somebody or give any advice if anybody gets anything out of this. It's if there's something you really believe in, right? If you really want to do, I can only speak as an illustrator now or an artist. If you really want to do something because you love it, let it be difficult, let it be challenging. Because if it's not,
mm,
you're not gonna get better.
yeah,
You're gonna continue to do the same things, and when you won't make any progress, because you won't, if you continue to do the same things, when you don't make progress, you're going to stop. That's
damn,
what's gonna happen, and you're gonna regret it. You might start over like me,
yeah,
right? Many times. But if you can avoid starting over as
mm,
many times as I did and just stick with it and learn. And if you come to find out it's not for you,
yeah,
great, but let it be for that reason,
yeah,
not because it's difficult. Don't give up on something because you can't draw like your favorite artist right now.
yeah,
Your favorite artist drew like shit
yeah,
at one point,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So that'd be my biggest advice. And I wish, in fact, no, I don't want to say I wish I told myself. So many people told me that and I still didn't listen.
damn,
But I'm proof that you will fail many times. And it's okay
yeah,
because now it took me 35 years, but I'm finally sticking to something that I'm enjoying and I'm not posting it every day and
yeah,
I'm not trying to glorify, oh, draw every single day because the truth is I don't.
yeah.
Uh,
That's crazy, bro.
when I do it, I enjoy it.
Yeah,
And that's it, man. My kids are happy.
yeah,
You are here and you invited me here and I
yeah.
get to talk
Appreciate it.
about this stuff. And that'd be the biggest thing, man. I hope, again, if 10 people watch this
Yeah,
and I'm one of them, if you get anything out of this, it's that, man. It's do what you want to do because you want to do it,
yeah,
right? Don't, if you cannot, some people are going to follow trends because their job is to create content and there's nothing wrong with that. But if that's not your intention, if your intention is to create for yourself,
right.
do it because you like it, man. And let it embrace the challenge because that's the
Yeah,
only way you're going to get better.
fuck yeah,
You know,
bro.
that's it, man. That's all I got to say.
All right, bro. Let them know where they can find you, and also maybe the website. Or not yet.
The,
Nah, nah. Okay,
yeah,
you know. All right, let them know where they can find you, and
that
and
that website, it's
let them know where they can find you, and when can we possibly expect that the drop for that comic book?
okay. So, Unlucky Gorilla. That's. I think I'm just on it. I think I'm just on Instagram, YouTube also, but I already archived all the videos just because I've committed to
Right.
focus my time on drawing.
Yeah.
But Unlucky Gorilla, and again, you know the story behind it.
Yeah.
The the comic book that I'm working on, it might not be called Radio later on. I might
Right.
change that too, but that's a
Yeah.
preliminary title. Realistically, the fall.
Okay.
I am gonna just release it digitally, and anybody's gonna be able to just read it. It'll be a high quality PDF. It's gonna look
Sick.
like an old. The whole point of that book is I want it to look like the golden era age, that style
Dope.
of comic books, right? You've seen how some of my stuff is vintage,
Yeah.
and I intend on printing it on very, very, very thin and cheap paper
Damn.
to give it the same. Like, I don't want you to be able to distinguish
Right.
it from an older comic book.
That's sick.
Okay, so I'll print. I'll do a run of those and see how that goes, and just to get feedback, because that's realistically all I want.
Yeah.
And if it's worth creating more issues, then we'll talk then. But hopefully within the fall, I'll start sharing the status on it.
Yeah.
Because I'm really excited. I'm not only excited because I'm gonna like because of the book itself, but like I'm actually gonna finish a project for once.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
literally for once, I'm gonna finish a project.
Yeah.
And it would have been 100% me. And it sucks I couldn't ask for help, but maybe the second issue I'll get some help.
Hell yeah, bro.
But yeah, man, I appreciate your time and again, everything that you're doing for people. Everybody in here right now wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
Damn, bro.
You giving everybody more of a you're giving everybody a kick on the ass that we need. I'm gonna get home and hopefully I can sustain this this motivation, because dude, look, it's one of those things where it takes somebody, and I don't mean to again keep kissing ass or anything, but it does take somebody to show everyone else that doesn't matter where you are artistically, the journey like still has, there's still a lot more to it.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to end right now. If you have the courage to just believe in what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, you're here, man. That's why.
No, we're here, bro.
Yeah, we're
here, man.
Yeah. So I appreciate it, man.
Thank you for being here, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I appreciate you, man. Cheers, bro. I know you're not drinking anything.
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm gonna need you to do it, bro. I gotta do this every episode.
Yeah, bro.
All right, thanks for coming, bro. Cheers to that, man.
Cheers to that.
How's everybody doing? Oh yeah. So we've been chilling for a minute, but I'll play some songs for y'all. Hopefully everybody has a good time. It's all for proof. Forget the truth. Opinions never die. Sway to a shaky move and back into the fire. Why plague it's always like this? Why fabricate the plot twist when I will recommend a strong quid? Swinging like hell. Learned to own the fight, made it gold across his shell. Holding lightning in his palm. Ain't been down before, but we've all been on those ropes. He put his faith into its fist, and his fear in all his anger in the gloves. People recognize the champ. He's a people's man of 49 and but he said, don't wait for me, don't pray for me, don't favor me, don't say nothing, don't waste your wish. I'm burning it. Come from Mighty Joe. The man is strong, but he is dumb and wicked slow. Just how far do bastards run? Learn to cheat when he was young, see how he's grown. But the man don't give no shit. He just chuckled and accepted. Bring it on. Though the fight is surely real, Joe's involved. And he'd say, don't wait for me, and don't pray for me, don't favor me, don't say nothing, don't waste your wish. I'm earning this, and you pay to see how great I am. The fight when just as you suppose. Billy Bolt is swinging fire. He's perfection's finest form. Half through 7 and he's golden. But the serpent's got a trick. He lets it roll. Then a monumental shift as 1,000 eyes grow big and start to roar. And Billy's mind starts checking in after 15 seconds missing on the floor. I just can't take it, and time don't seem to help. I'm fucking faceless. I can't see myself. What does my name mean? Whose is this flesh I'm in? What am I made of? What have I always been? A lie, a sham, a joke, a false, a fake, a fluke, a hoax. I can't, I quit. I'm done, I wrote before. You take my life, a note, and it read, don't favor me, don't play for me, and don't play with me. Well, don't say nothing, don't waste your wish. I wanted this, just claim to have seen how great I'd been. I was, I was, I was, I was, I I'm done.
Sweet. The song was about a boxer. Yeah, it didn't end very well for him. But I like that song. It was cool. And this is another song that I wrote called A Little Lion. Yeah, sometimes you fuck your own shit up real quick, and you just gotta jump back in there. There we go.
Little lion, are you always on the prowl? Oh, how your teeth show sharp is your ego now. Little lion, will you're starving, I know. Don't go choke on no bones, little lion. Little lion. Little lion, always close enough to feel. Run for some time now, still you're right at my heels. Little lion, do you search for something real? With all you've devoured, have you not had your fill? Little lion, don't it seem to be that only when it's cold do you return to me? Night of any empathy, you're starving, I know, and it shows while you munch on those bones. You got your pride and all, but do you ever think of all the hurt you've sown in a weary kingdom? And if you cared it all for the prey you feast on, would it break your soul? Will you bleed your demons? You got your pride, I know. So you keep believing that you're the only wrong or the only reason. And if you cared it all, but you don't, and you're starving, I know. Hope you choke on your bones, little lion. Little lion. Did you ever think I'd taste so sweet? Vision leather from behind your teeth. You'll forever be the end of me, little lion, little lion. Did you ever think I'd taste so sweet? Vision leather from behind your teeth. You'll forever be the end of me, little lion, little lion. Little lion.
Thank you. Damn. I'm really feeling like Stevie now. Nah. Yeah, I'm good. Little inside. Ooh, two of them. Two of them. Two wines. Oh, so how about my friend with me sing our last two songs? So, you know, give it up for Hope. Genius, genius. Oh, my bad. Sorry. This is Hope. Everybody meet Hope. Hope is gonna sing some songs with me.
That is the plan.
Yeah. We met at salsa class. There we go. Almost fucked you over right at the end.
Oh, stop. Baby, don't you and take our time. I'll be there, don't you worry. Please hold me closely. We're chest to chest. I wanna hold my breath. Don't let this moment end. I wanna stay all night. Make our dreams synchronize. Fingers intertwined. I love feeling your body next to mine. Let me see every inch of your skin and touch so much my trust. I wanna be with you forever and ever, my lover. Just a little longer. Stay, stay, stay all night. Make our dreams synchronize. Fingers intertwined. I love feeling your body next to mine. I wanna be with you forever and ever, my lover. Just a little longer.
Five. Sweet. Sweet. Oh, that's a song recommendation for you guys. I got two. I got two for you. One, it's called You Owe Me. That's by like Michael Todd or some shit like that. Bangs. Snuck up on me. I liked it before and then I really like it now. I said, oh my god. And then Stay by like Maybe with two N's. Banger. I didn't write that last one, but it sounded good, right? Yeah. She was great. I'm saying. But this will be our last song. I wrote this one, and that's all good.
My staple is unstable ground. I'm fucked for life if faith falls now. So screwed out in my face. Dopamine paths to delude with the pain. Well, if I had a moment of peace, then I'd say that I'm falling to shit and I'm far from okay. But I'm mostly a fool. I know that I'm mostly a fool. I know that I was made broke, so I face it loud. I do. It's true. Dancing in place as the anchor and tossed to the racer. If I had a moment of peace, then I'd say that I'm falling to shit and I'm far from okay. But I'm mostly a fool. I know that I'm mostly a fool. I know that I'm mostly a
Sweet. I hope y'all had a good night. That was fun for me. Sick for you. Was it good for you as it was for me, gang? Thank you. Thank you very much. Am I good? Yeah. I mean, shit. You know what I'm saying? You talk to me nicely, I got another one for you. Check. I know how much Pete likes that shit. Sorry. Bang.
All right, guys. Can you hear me? Check, check, check. We're good? All right, so that is Cien Noches episode 4. 4. All right, I just want to say shout out to Marcel. Shout out to Hope for that amazing performance. And if you're an artist and you want to perform and you want to showcase and you feel like you haven't been seen, you haven't been heard, this is a place. Cien Noches. We're over here. The 209 has very, very amazing talent. As you see, every episode we have, they just keep raising the bar, and it's just, this is home raised. This is authentic. It doesn't get any realer than this. We're more than just agriculture. We are culture. So if you want to perform, Cien Noches, this is the place to be. Hit us up. And shout out to the guest of honor today. We have JC in the building. Unlucky Gorilla might be the lucky one today. And yeah, that's it, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And that's the way the cookie crumbles.